Alright, so in case anybody was wondering whether or not we could mimic the starter helper that's on the second gen on a first gen motor, I made one, rigged one up here. So what I got is the second gen little solenoid hooked up to a cable, and it comes down here, and then right there where the oil used to go, I put a lever, and so you can see the lever inside of there. It has a little flapper that pushes against the back of the gear, a lot like the second gens. So this guy pulls over. So as you can see, when I hit the switch, it'll pull over and it'll hold that gear. Well, it all works in theory, except for one thing is missing. The clutch that goes on the starter motor of the second gen, turns out it's really important, because when the Bendix tries to push back, this won't allow it, but it allows it to freewheel on the starter and gives it time to get on back so it doesn't grind. So I'll fire it up without it hooked up. I got it disconnected right here, and you'll hear the motor grind just a little bit like normal on the first gen, so you can see it's not going to move. And you hear that box of rocks when it grinds like the first gens always do. So now let's hook the little guy up, and when we hit it, it actually doesn't grind when it's cranking. It grinds real bad though, because it's holding it over, because that little clutch is not there on the motor. So then you can see when I pull it, it's going to engage it. But the problem is it can't get back fast enough to get that gear off of the flywheel gear, because it's trying to turn faster than the starter motor, and so it just grinds against the gear. So in case you're wondering if there's a way that you might be able to hook up something to these first gens, looks like unless you put the clutch on the starter motor, there's no way it's going to work like this, because this is pretty much the same thing that the second gen's doing. It just doesn't have the starter clutch. Now, I could put a starter clutch on it and try it, but at this point, it's a little bit too much to try to do anyway. So I think I'm just going to leave it and call this one good, that we gave it a try. It didn't work. We'd have too much to do to try to make this happen. Well, alrighty. Well, thanks for watching.